are reports that the Mariners and Josh Naylor have agreed to a 5-year deal. Andy, how does this deal now with Naylor impact the Mets and Pete Alonso?
We're just going to do this now?
I know. It's like
I'm all sentimental. I just watched a decade of my life go by. All right, fine. How does it impact it? Sal, I texted and talked to as many people in the industry as I could. Got kind of like a lukewarm response on a lot of people saying, like, I don't think it means much because, yes, they're two first basemen, and, yes, Naylor's the second best first baseman available on the free agent market. But other than that, they're so dissimilar, and that Alonso, every metric offensively, both surface metrics and like under the hood stuff, he's just a better offensive player. Naylor's a better defender. He's 2 years younger. So there's just so many. He also had a situation with the Mariners where it just looked like, unlike Pete with the Mets the last 2 years, it was like, hey, we're going to get this done. Let's get this done. Like maybe he got 6 years if he would have waited it out, but those two sides just wanted to come together early. So it's very, very hard, other than to say that it's good for Pete because he was already the best first baseman available. Yeah. Now he's like the only star first baseman available. Other than that, the similarities kind of stop.
But you have to think, Doug, that Pete to the Mets is more valuable than just a normal first baseman. Yeah. And if one guy, I don't care if he's 2 years younger or not, if he could get 5 years and he's not a fraction of the run producer that Alonso is, to me it sets up well for Pete Alonso.
Yeah, by the way, I texted my sources, too, to get some, what's the contract look like for Naylor? And they said, we work at City Hall. It's not our responsibility. Well, the thing with Alonso is it depends how both sides view this. And Alonso has always been a proud guy. He's had a chip on his shoulder since he was in the minor leagues. And after last offseason, he may be going into this one thinking, okay, am I finally going to get the long-term deal that I am worth, that I believe that I played 162 games for, drove in 126 runs for. And if he checks in with other teams and they're using the phrase DH, we like you, we see you there down the road, we potentially aren't offering you exactly what you want. Does he then have the ability? Can he see himself going back to the Mets at the later stage of the offseason again and saying, this is where I'm at? And the Mets know that the person is represented by Scott Boras and that the person is a proud individual and a great baseball player and their franchise leader in home runs. They know that he badly wants to come back, I think, deep down, but that he's a proud guy and may look around elsewhere to see if he's paid elsewhere for what he's worth.
Like you haven't missed a step. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think he's hitting all the right points. Whereas just like, if some team came around and made him feel more wanted.
Yes.
There you go. We'll see if that happens.
And if I'm Pete, I'm not taking anything less than 6 years after I see Naylor getting 5. I mean, if I'm Pete and I'm telling my agent, this guy, look at his numbers and look at mine. Look at what I've done in New York for the Mets. I'm not taking anything less than 6 years. Or if it's going to be 5, then it's going to be higher than 30 per.
That's why this is going to take so long, probably, because I would be surprised if the Mets thought that 5 was reasonable.
Somebody might, though.
Somebody might. And the Mets might have to ultimately be adaptable.
Real quick, I never looked at Naylor as a possible replacement for Alonso. Was he?
I didn't look at that way either because he's also a premium free agent, so that would you'd have to wine and dine and woo him too, and it's a tough thing to do 2 stars for the same position on a parallel track. So I didn't really see it.
If you're going to pay a first baseman, you pay Pete. Naylor wasn't and shouldn't have been an option for the Mets. For our own Andy, Edwin Diaz re-signing with the Mets is actually 50-50.
One of the best relievers in baseball last year. He's in a lot of demand. The Mets want him, but I'm sure a bunch of other clubs. If you're the Toronto Blue Jays and you would have had a World Series parade if your closer had just not given up a home run, maybe Edwin Diaz looks pretty good. Teams like that have money, I think there's going to be a lot of bidding.
Host-to-host advice real quick. At the end of the question, do you ask the or do you just let them do it on their own?
What do you mean if they don't give you an
So like, Doug, the Mets need to trade a long-term piece to shake up their core. Do I then say
I think in asking the question, did my own version as the host.
Right, okay. Just
making sure they know that there are 2 options and they're both ridiculous.
All right, that was the real question.
Yeah. So do I have a question?
Yeah, the Mets need to trade a piece to shake up their core long-term.
I feel like if we're not careful, the Mets, just like us talking about the team, are going to be so focused on bringing these 2 pieces back. And then if you get them back, you're lucky enough to sign them to a contract you like, team-friendly or player-friendly, whatever it is, then suddenly you look around like, how are we going to get better?
Yeah.
How does next year go any different than last year? So I do think that thinking creative about trading a core piece might be something you have to do.
I think that might, in fact, be the key to their entire offseason. All right, Andy, back to you. Cody Bellinger, he will sign a contract in New York this offseason.
This guy's Obviously a perfect fit for the Yankees. He likes them, they like him. The only way he doesn't go back to the Yankees is if the market for him gets to a place that's so over the top in the Yankees' estimation that he ends up with big money somewhere else that we don't predict. But it's just like, when is the last time a player and a team fit this comfortably? Cody Bellinger and the Yankees just has to happen again.
But he'd be a nice fit with the Mets.
He'd be amazing for the Mets. He'd make any team a million times better. The Mets with their run prevention goal, obviously he's a perfect fit for them. But they have their Alonso and Diaz situations to focus on, and that's what their business is right now.
All right, Doug, you enjoy news more than sports.
It's here's why. As a person in my off time, I still love sports more than anything. As my job, I really enjoy. That's where the comes in, because I really enjoy covering what I cover. I have a focus in education. It's something I really enjoy, and really important work that I feel like is making a difference. So that's the part that I really like about it.
God bless you, man. I used to look at you and be like, oh, I can do what he does. Now I look at you and say, I could never do what you do.
I can barely do what I do.